Us on the line. Good to have him. Good friend of the show. And in 18 short days, he'll fight for the UFC Bantamweight Championship. Cody Garbrandt is with us. Good morning, man. What's going on?
Good morning, man. It gave me goosebumps. 18 days away from a lifelong dream. So we're here. We're here putting the final touches on camp and getting ready to storm Vegas.
Dude, I'm excited for you, man. It's crazy. 4 days before your 2-year anniversary as a UFC fighter, you're fighting for the belt. And I know in speaking to you, you're not surprised. May surprise some people that you got here this quickly, but you're not surprised, motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's right. Not surprised, motherfuckers. But yeah, it's great. Like I said, 4 days shy of, the 2-year mark in the UFC. And really, the first year in the UFC, they didn't keep me busy. I fought January to July and then July to February. So this year was really the year they gave me the opportunity, kept giving me the fights. And I knew I had to go out there and do. I knew my responsibilities was going out there and knocking them out faster and faster each time. And that's how you get, put on the next card, keep busy. So I just knocking your opponents out. Here I am, like I said, 18 days away from, a world title shot, being a world champion, I should say. So I went from unranked in 2016 to world champion, and by the end of it,
So these last 2 weeks, right before fight week, I know are handled differently by different fighters when it comes to tapering off and trying to peak. I mean, what is your focus as you taper off and try to peak yourself perfectly for December 30th?
This is my fourth fight camp this year. So basically, I've been in and out of fight camp all year. So I've really learned my body this year. I had to adjust to some injuries throughout the year. This is honestly the best camp I've ever had, the healthiest camp I ever had. 2 weeks left to go. So I have a couple, about a week and a half hard push left. Finalize things, sharpen things up. I'm physically, mentally, and emotionally ready to fight now, but it's still 2 weeks of, 2 weeks of putting the gas, the pedals in the metal, and kind of letting up. You get the fight week kind of to relax and calm your body and kind of re-heal. So a little bit of harder push. We got UFC Sacramento this week, so it's fight week here for a lot of my teammates and in the city of Sacramento. So I'm recharged and fired up for this week. So it's going to be a nice week of, momentum towards us and our team. So it's good for the last hard push to have these guys and have them go there, fight, and then kind of motivate me and send me positivity to go into my fight week.
Yeah, it's cool the way it's all sort of timing out. So I assume you'll obviously be in the building then Saturday night, yeah?
Oh yeah. I guess I have a side-by-side interview with Dominick Cruz. So
oh really?
That one should be fun. Yeah. Not to keep my hands in my pockets.
Good. Yeah, that's good. Top contender Cody Garbrandt joining us here on the Anik Florian podcast. So, all right, let's talk about Dominick Cruz, UFC Bantamweight champ. He's been in your sights for some time. I know you've got sort of an old school mentality. You go in there and you knock the guy out, he twitches on the canvas, and then you leave. But this is a very different stylistic challenge, and one that a lot of people have tried to solve and haven't been able to solve. I mean, what changes in terms of your preparation for the opponent and specifically this one?
Nothing's really changed in my preparation. I would say my focus has been more laser focused, more driven, more hungry, more motivation. It's something that I've looked forward to for quite some time now. Is to be a world champion, is to fight Dominick Cruz, and like you said, we're 18 days away from that fight, from finally getting my hands on this guy. So the whole camp I've been really enjoying the process of becoming a world champion. Every day. Getting up, pushing yourself to the limits, knowing what I'm doing in this training camp is only going to, help me reach that goal. So every day I came in here and got better and really enjoyed it. He's a different fighter from a lot of the fighters that I fought, but then again, I'm a different fighter from all the fighters that he's fought. So that just makes it great for a great matchup. He uses footwork and his elusivity to evade the fight, to not fight. He's a smart fighter. He's good at fighting, and he looks at it as a sport of fighting. So the sport of fighting is to hit someone and not get hit. So he's good at that. For me, I want to go in there and take your head off, knock you out, like I said, leave you twitching on the canvas, and collect the 2 checks and hopefully a $50K bonus and get on to the next one. But it's great. Stylistically, every matchup for me is great stylistically. My style is great. I can outbox. I move. I can cut angles, and I'm fast. I have power. That's one thing that I don't think Dominick's faced with someone. He's fought great fighters. I'm not taking any away from the fighters or his adversaries that he's defeated in the past, but I'm a different fighter than him. I've been boxing since I was a young kid. I've been boxing longer than he's been fighting, and that's what he goes for. He goes for the stand-up game. I'm fine. Wherever the fight goes, I'm more than confident that I'm going to set the pace and be the dictator in there. And he's so what's the word I'm looking for? He's so curious, or so to know where I'm at. Put me in bad positions. To put me in bad positions to know where can he wrestle, can he do jiu-jitsu, can he push the pace in the 4th and 5th round. It's like, look, I've been elite. I'm an elite fighter. I train with elite fighters every day of my life, and I'm pushing it and pushing and pushing it. And the cream rises to the top in every situation. I'm a survivor, and if my skills don't, my skills are outweighed, then my heart will push me and propel me to the next level and to the 4th and 5th round. So he's got a real fighter on his hands, so he knows that, and he's desperate. He's desperate to know how I am in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, in the championship rounds, how I am with the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, all that. He's so desperate because he's never seen it. He's never seen it. He just thinks I'm some kind of punch-drunk, stupid fighter that goes in there and brawls. Yeah, I go in there and knock people out, and he wants to see that I'm just a brawler, I'm this, because he doesn't know he's so desperate. He's desperate, and desperation, he doesn't wear desperation well. So it's fine. He wants to put me in deep waters. I'm gonna swim.
Man, you're getting me fired up. Can't wait for it. It's the co-main event, UFC 207, Garbrandt and Cruz for the UFC Bantamweight title. So you know how highly I think of Justin Buchholz, your head coach, and it seems to me, and this isn't to denigrate other guys he's cornered against Dominick Cruz, but it seems to me that now he really thinks he has the fighter who can knock Cruz out. And obviously, in talking to him, he seems as confident as you are. So should be pretty exciting, man. So 4th fight for you of 2016. And, obviously for the UFC to avoid canceling pay-per-views, right, they need healthy, active champions, ideally to do championship doubleheaders like the one you have at 207. So does it change the way you approach the fight game in terms of how often you want to fight? Because, dude, 4 training camps a year, man. It may be ideal, but I know it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy, but it's like, you only have one life, and this window of opportunity to become a great fighter, become a legend, to leave your mark in the sport is very narrow. So I want to fight as much as I can. Fight the top guys. I've always wanted to fight the top 10, top 5, the best in the world. I've always pictured myself competing against throughout my whole career, and I want to leave my legacy when I'm done. So I want to have a lot of title defenses after I dethrone Dominick Cruz on the 30th, and be one of the most active champions in the roster. Dominick Cruz is not a fighter. He's not built to be a fighter. He's not born to be a fighter. I am. You can tell. He's the most inactive fighter, I think, probably on the roster, arguably. But he's not built to be a fighter. That's why. He's not a fighter. He's not even built to be a fighter. He doesn't have the genetics to be a fighter. I do. I can do 4, 5, 6 fight camps, 4, 5, 6 fight camps a year, against the best, and go out there and perform. I'm born to do this. I was built to do this. I'm excited. 18 days away from being a world champion.
Well, and Dana White would like to hear that. You obviously saw him say to Max Holloway, Brooklyn, and obviously Holloway now trying to deal with whether or not he can turn around in a couple months and try to unify the belt against Jose Aldo. So, all right, couple rapid-fire questions here with Cody Garbrandt on the way out. Easier future opponent for you? Easier W, TJ Dillashaw or Conor McGregor?
I would say easier knockout or easy opponent, easier to win.
Whatever you think. You can also pass on one of these questions, by the way. Don't be afraid.
No, I would like to smack both of them up.
I know you would.
Both of them get it. Yeah, that'd be fun. Both of them, double knockout.
All right, there you go. So after your fight, December 30th, Ronda Rousey will step in there against Amanda Nunes. Rousey favored right now. I'm not sure if you're a betting man, but forced to make a pick to save a dog's life. You go and Ronda Rousey will step in there against Amanda Nunes. Rousey favored right now. I'm not sure if you're a betting man, but forced to make a pick to save a dog's life. You go and Rousey or Nunes?
Rousey, 100%. Stylistically, I'm Rousey. I know that. She was knocked out in her last fight and nearly had over a year layoff. But sometimes we'll see. It can either go one or two ways. Look at Jose Aldo. He was knocked out in 13 seconds by Conor McGregor. He goes out there and comes back, and that's what great champions do. They come back. They come back after adversity. That's what the championship mentality, championship heart they have in them. And Jose Aldo comes in there and just dismantles Frankie Edgar. Same thing with Almeida. He goes in there and after his knockout knocks another guy out. I'm not comparing him on Jose Aldo's level at all because he's not. But, you have that championship heart mentality. You're going to come back after that. So I'm you're very curious to see how Rousey comes back and, wants to be on top of the world and having that. And she has been champion. So my thing is that she's been on top for so long, and she got knocked down. She knows that feeling of the loss and everything that came with it, and it sucks. I've been there. I've been knocked out, and that's one of the best things that happened to me in my life. At the time, looking, I was 18, and it wasn't. I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. But it showed me a lot about myself. That I wasn't immortal. You're 18, you didn't think anyone can take you out. Especially in the amateur scene, but come back, and I haven't lost a fight since then. But it also showed me so much about myself, how I have to prepare, have to lifestyle, have to live. And, Ronda had so much going for her that I'm excited to see her come back. I think she's hungry. I think she's going to go in there to have something to prove. And stylistically, Amanda, she gasses. I mean, look at the fight with Kat Zingano. Was it Kat Zingano that she lost? She was winning, had the momentum, lost it, and kind of gassed out. And Kat rallied in the end and ended up getting her. So I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey here.
Yeah, I think she's going to be at the height of motivation too, and I would agree with you stylistically. I think it shapes up well. So I think a lot of pro fighters have been, back in the Nunes train, I think, because she's more active, and certainly you look at her current form, it's hard to argue with it, but I tend to lean your way, and I think there's a reason why Ronda Rousey is favored. All right, so I'm not sure how many of our listeners know this. I know you've been on the show twice before, but we talked about your football career in the great state of Ohio playing middle linebacker. I mean, dude was undersized a little bit, but over 135 or whatever tackles a year. So, what was your best moment as a football player? I mean, whether it was a team thing or just laying some guy out, I mean, what do you think most fondly back of from your high school playing days?
The funniest thing that happened in the football, what I remember about is my brother was the fullback too, so he was the fullback and I was the running back.
Oh.
And Zach, he would just plow through the hole and knock 2 or 3 defenders out, and I would just make one cut and I'd be off to the races, touchdown. So I'd be chest bumping everyone else. Zach would take his jolly time, hog jogging down. And I just remember him one time, I was chest bumping everyone after I scored a touchdown. And it was a close game. And he grabbed me by the face mask and he goes, "Listen, you little motherfucker." He goes, "I blocked for you." He goes, "I blocked for you. You chest bump me first." And we're sitting there fighting in the middle of the field, and the ref's like, "All right, guys, break it up." And our quarterback was trying to break us up, and we were just it was funny. I remember him just grabbing by my face mask, "You chest bump me first." He goes, "I'm the one that blocking for your ass." I just remember that after scoring a touchdown, he was all pissed because I didn't chest bump him first, but he was still down on the 10-yard line. I'm off the end zone, So I just remember that it was great playing with him and playing with him. But I remember that. I just remember him grabbing me by a face mask after every touchdown. I wouldn't chest bump him first.
I love it. And if you know the history of the brothers, that makes a lot of sense that you guys would be fighting and hopefully avoiding a yellow flag for fighting with your own teammate there in the end zone. Hey, so dude, you texted me yesterday saying I look like I've been tanning or something. Did I just look like an asshole on television Friday night or what?
No, you look good. You sent me the emojis, and they're a little darker than your hand.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was like, man, you've been tanning. You sent me the praying emoji hands.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, you've been tanning. Yeah.
I go black
you always
emojis.
Look good. You got the David August, too. You're looking fresh, man. We're going to look good on the 30th. I know that.
Yeah, well, hopefully you'll get to watch Ronda Rousey in your David August suit with a new piece of gold around your shoulder. But yeah, I go with the black emojis because I always wanted to be black. When I was a kid and listen to hip hop all the time, I want to be in the NBA, and so this is like as close as I get. I'm sure you can relate a little bit, I guess.
Awesome.
All right, hey Cody, final thought for you. Cub Swanson Duho Choi. I know you tweeted about it, dude. I mean, how crazy was that fight?
That was great. That was you could have been a crossroads kind of passing of the torch with Cub, but he went out there and silenced the critics that he still had a couple more fights in him. And I don't know how they say the kid's name, the Superboy, went out there. I mean, that kid took everything that Cub threw at him and kept coming. That was a great fight. It was very entertaining. Thank both those gentlemen for putting on a display of their skills and heart and determination. And I'm glad, Cub pulled off the win, the American. And what a great fight. The fight fans won.
And it's your turn next, my man. Cody Garbrandt challenging Dominick Cruz for the UFC Bantamweight title. Friday, December 30th, UFC 207. You can only see it on pay-per-view. No love, man. Excited that you're getting the shot. I am. You've certainly earned it. Wish you all the best here tapering off, and wish you the best during fight week. We will see you in Vegas later this month, man.
All right, John. See you in 18 days, brother.
There he is, Cody Garbrandt with us.